Jai Hind to all our viewers on
Joy
this
Hind.
nationalist voice of Bengal. I have two distinguished guests who need no introduction: Professor Kapil Kumar, eminent historian, and Dr Madhusudan Pal, cardiothoracic surgeon, retired professor of Calcutta Medical College, and eminent Netaji researcher. So today's discussion will be on the turmoil in Bengal and some of the false gods that we have created and worshipped. Bangladesh, as we know, has been on the turmoil ever since India and Bengal were partitioned in 1947. And Bangladesh, in particular, has been on the boil since August last with the CIA engineered coup that dethroned legitimately elected Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. And notably, we have seen the emergence of some intellectuals in both Bangladesh and West Bengal who have had, should we say, greatness thrust upon them by global lobbyists as a quid pro quo for doing their bidding and setting the agenda in their favor in both the two Bengals and India. This unique phenomenon is to be discussed by eminent historian Professor Kapil Kumar and eminent cardiothoracic surgeon cum Netaji researcher Dr. Madhusudan Pal.
Then let me give a small note. Dr. Shankar,
Sir,
the phases of
please.
degradation of Bengal. Professor Kumar, about 2000 years back, if you go into the global economy, in the global trade, 2000 years back, it is now recorded by eminent group of Nobel laureates in economy that 2000 years back, it was the Bay of Bengal area was busiest in world trade. Only India was contributing 60% of the world trade, of which Bay of Bengal area itself number one contributor. And gradually, the Bengal and India gradually started declining from 15th century onwards. And then China was rising. Then the European powers came. And India, in British era, came down to just 1 to 2% of global trade. That is, Bengal area was so vibrant from 1st century to 15th century. And this is one side. Other side is the foreign faith, religion, conversion started in Bengal. That is about 1000 years back. That could not be stopped. That in Islamization in Arakan area, in East Bengal, West Bengal, and parts of India. Massive conversion for different reasons. Then the Christianity came. After British came. That British Christianity conversion, that was threatened by at least the rise of a group of disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. The rise of the birth of Sri Ramakrishna could stop that process. But the process of Islamization is very, very strong in Bengal. And that not only destroyed culture, also economy and mindset. And that Islamization process is still now continuing. And then came some so-called scholars, so-called big men, who in the name of freedom movement, under the cover of, as if they are great freedom fighters, has destroyed the interest of Bengal. That we will discuss today. The so-called great persons, popularized in the world media by the Western forces. And then the crisis from before partition in 46, calamities in Bengal, Bangladesh, that is East Pakistan, East Bengal, and Calcutta. Before that, British engineered famine. Then partition. Then again 71, further forceful migration of Hindus from East Pakistan, East Bengal to India. And then again, the rise of a communist party in West Bengal under the backing of some big powers for 34 hours, encouraging about 20 million Muslims into India with all ration cards and all certificates. And then came our another party, TMCP. The process is continuing. And total migration of Muslims from East Pakistan is about, from 1972 to today, is about 40 million. Along with that, lakhs of terrorists. Those who has got now, you see the mechanism how from the West Bengal government machinery, they have been helped to get the ration card, PAN card, Aadhaar card, even passport. And Professor Kumar, now
Professor Kumar, sir, your take on this.
Your take on.
See, this is, as you said, what has happened to what was called our Sonar Bangla, if I'm not wrong. Our Golden Bengal. What has happened to it? And many of these renegades, I call them, I don't call them intellectuals, particularly Hindus in Bengal, who call themselves intellectuals. They don't know that they wouldn't have existed had Shyama Prasad Mukherjee at that time did not point out that there were Hindus also staying in Bengal. And the partition of Bengal took place because of that. Your chief minister today, who has been not only appeasing these intruders from Bangladesh, but facilitating them in all ways, doesn't realize that had Shyama Prasad Mukherjee not been there, she would not have been the chief minister of West Bengal. The whole of Bengal would have been an Islamic Muslim state, as demanded by Soharwardi and Mujibur Rahman and Jinnah at that time. And Nehru and all were not bothered whether it goes or not. You all know that Calcutta was demanded by Muslim League. Congress had almost agreed, but for certain aspects of Sardar Patel. Now, these intellectuals, they made cliques with the British. I know of this factor.
Professor Kumar, better term is intellectuals, not intellectuals. My word is intellectuals.
Well, I may call them underlectuals.
Underlectuals, okay.
Underlectuals. In Cambridge,
not intellectuals. Yes.
In Cambridge and Oxford universities, they formed an access. In Fulbright in America fellowships, they formed an access. And only their students and their people can go, or there were compromises. Okay, you send mine and I'll send yours.
Quid pro quo.
And among these, no, it is scratching each other's back. I'll use that word. I won't even use quid pro quo. I will say this, because once one of my publishers said this, when a group had come up. So I said, well, that group is writing history now. He said, what group? Just tell them that there is only one fellowship available in Cambridge, and this group should decide among themselves that who will take that fellowship, and they will tear each other's clothes to come to a decision that who will go. That's the reality, I tell you. Now this your Amartya Sen.
Amartya Sen. Yeah.
Amartya Sen, I call him Amartya Sen. I call him that way. If it is a question of economics and getting a Nobel Prize for that, and that too from a leftist point of view, which he claims to be in a way, then I think Professor Amiya Bakshi of Calcutta University deserved that much more than Amartya Sen.
Yes, yes.
Amartya Sen is nothing in front of him. I have no hesitation in saying that I had the opportunity of being interviewed by Professor Amiya Bakshi, who was the visitor's nominee when I became a professor. And the only person I feared in that interview was Amiya Bakshi. And later on, he complimented.
One point.
So
This-
I'll tell you. I'll give you something of this Amartya Sen. I'll tell you.
Yes, yes.
Two of his misdeeds, I'll tell you, which the country has forgotten. One, when Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister, his daughter was a reader of history in Delhi University. And she had written a book for undergraduate students on ancient India, a textbook. And Infosys gave her a reward of 50 lakh rupees as the best history book of India.
Good.
Can you believe it? And who was the chairman of that jury? That was this Amartya Sen. And after that, we never heard of that prize again on any history book. The second thing I remember is, see, there was an international university again
Nalanda.
formed at Nalanda.
Nalanda University.
And he was made the chancellor of that university by Manmohan Singh. You see, this is give and take. I get your daughter 50 lakh rupees as best history book. You become the chancellor of Nalanda University.
Yes.
And what he did there, one of his friends, she was just a reader in LSR College in Delhi University. She was made the vice chancellor there of this international university. Who ran the university from Delhi? Height of corruption. If you look at their travel bills, both of Amartya Sen also and her also.
Yes.
Then later on, she was removed, a vigilance inquiry also was done, but you know how these inquiries are then stopped in our country after a point by some people. And this man makes a fun of India. Have you heard him praising India anywhere?
Not after 2014.
No. I mean in terms of Indian heritage, Indian culture, Indian
No,
aspect.
never.
Does he recognize Kautilya as an economist?
So I'll make certain points, sir.
Yeah.
If I may, like he has completely whitewashed the Hindu genocide of East Pakistan, calling it land reforms.
Yes. That is why I say I have no regard for these Nobel Prize people, particularly those who are given in these social sciences and environment and human rights and all.
And economics.
It is a
also.
mockery. It is a mockery.
That is only
You
one,
see,
sir. I'll have two more examples.
No, I will come, sir. Let me give you this example.
Yeah.
Oh, that Greta. What was that girl? Young girl, Greta, 14, 15 years old, who was given
Greta
that environmental Nobel Prize?
Greta Thunberg.
Where is she now? Where have these environmentalists disappeared in the last 4 years? That all the wars are taking place, military exercise is taking place, environmental being affected and all. Where is she?
She's
I'll add
purifying the
something on
And the
environment.
other and the other bloodsucker you have,
the first Amartya Sen.
this
Let us
eunuch.
complete Amartya Sen. First, let us complete Amartya
Okay.
Sen. I will add something
Okay.
on Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen.
Okay.
The world knows Amartya Sen has got original works on Bengal famine. And his theory is, even if there is famine, there will be no scarcity of food if the government is liberal. And think the original work in Bengal famine, Professor K. Ghosh, and that work was done in Bengal, available banking on whatever British papers on famine was there. His volume is published before partition of India from Jadavpur. There's a volume, Bengal famine, where he has shown in India, even the Muslim era, famine was almost unknown. But the British era, in every decade, in
There is a famine.
zones of India, in every decade, there is major famines.
That's right.
Number one. Number two, detailed examination on British papers on Bengal famine. Bengal famine means it is East India famine and man-made. This is written in his volume. And Amartya Sen stolen all these papers, worked in England,
Plagiarized.
and only thing he referred to the materials in their British libraries. The only difference. That made it famous. Number one. Number two, Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen, two daughters of Manmohan Singh, who stayed in America, made visiting professors in Nalanda, was getting 5 crore rupees per year, never giving a visiting lecture in Nalanda. And hundreds of crores of rupees there is spending for Nalanda, but no papers are there.
I
on
think, sir,
scrutiny.
2,730 crores. That's the figure.
Massive pilferage of money. And one thing, I'll stop by one thing. This Amartya Sen was a supporter of CPM in Bengal. Take it from me. When movement in our East Midnapur, that East Midnapur, that is area that is South Nondigram, that massive farmers movement against CPM started. Amartya Sen in Calcutta, who after coming from Europe, gave a press conference. What was his note? The people of Bengal is not failing to understand the sincerity of the left front.
Wow.
The people of Bengal is failing to understand the sincerity of the left government. One statement. And when CPM lost the election, when TMC came to power, that very Amartya Sen gave a lecture in Calcutta for the press. CPM, this is tragedy that CPM failed to understand the mind of the people. And that brought Amartya Sen near to TMCP, Mamata. This is Amartya Sen.
You see, he is near to CPM or TMC in Calcutta. He is near to Congress in Delhi.
Yes.
And
in Calcutta,
he will be
near to Calcutta, in the Congress. This is Amartya Sen.
He will be near to that. And this is like we call, you know that lota, thali ka lota. Like this, wherever you can grab something, you grab it.
Professor, one thing you must appreciate that you are a very ordinary man. I am an ordinary man. Dr. Chatterjee, ordinary. He has got only one wife. You have got only one wife for your whole life. I have got only. Remember, He has got two wives, one in India, one other is in America, and two girlfriends,
Oh, three wives actually.
three
So,
girlfriends.
No,
He's
I
very
think
liberal man.
one was related to that Nobel Prize, some family also of
Yes.
Nobel laureates.
Jews family,
Rothschild,
Jews family,
Rothschild.
who selects Nobel Prize,
Emma
and
Rothschild.
and economics Nobel Prize is not a Nobel Prize.
You see, I have no respect for him, and I have no respect for any of those Indians who are there and get Nobel Prizes and all.
And
I have none for them.
Dr. Chatterjee, can you remember this Amartya Sen was used by Sugato Bose to propagate the marriage story of Netaji? And this
Yes,
scoundrel
yes.
Amartya Sen was shouting, Bose has married, who opposed that story are all stupids. Basically, he's just stupid on this subject. He's a scoundrel. Amartya Sen is a
No,
scoundrel.
you see,
You remember?
anyone where he can take, he has some benefit or something, he will
Yes.
sing that song. He will sing that song. Politically, socially, and in personal relationships also, because their personal relationships are built on give and take. They are not value-based. They are on give and take.
And
You do this
see,
for me, I'll do this for you.
his grandfather took a land in Vishwabharati during Tagore, Rabindranath Thakur. He has acquired extra land in Santiniketan.
That vacation order has been
Yes.
stalled actually.
What happened? Because the lower judiciary under the grip of TMCP. In Bengal, the lower judiciary under the grip of TMCP. Now he's a TMCP
Dada,
man in Bengal.
I want to know one thing. Like you, and he's so aware. Why the people in Bengal are not aware of these misdeeds of such people? Why they hero worship him?
They love
They
to
are
gloss over.
aware, but they are very little number of people have got the courage to speak out. Everyone is afraid of, because now he's a TMCP man in Bengal.
Right.
You see, after acquiring this land, Mamata Banerjee went to meet him to protect him directly, physically. And you know, all the lower court judges are appointed, transferred, and threatened by these TMCP people.
Dada, have you heard any statement of him on Bangladesh? What is happening there?
No. He's deaf and dumb. Selectively deaf and dumb and blind. This
He has no
scoundrel
access to his answer.
is selectively deaf and dumb and blind. He
Sir.
Or he may support his Nobel Prize co-brother, Yunus.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And he has no access to his ancestral home, about which he is completely silent. He is from Dhaka.
He is from Dhaka.
And he has no
So he
access
can't
to
see
his
that.
He
He
can't
can't
go
see
there.
that. But he can't see these things, what is happening in Bangladesh.
In
He can't see
Delhi,
that.
he's loyal
That's
to
a
Nehru
blind
Gandhi
spot.
family. In Delhi, he's loyal to Nehru Gandhi family. Here in CPM days, he's CPM. Now he's TMCP. And in America, he is the son-in-law of that family. That very rich family.
Rothschild, sir.
Rothschild family.
Sir, regarding Netaji
Well,
Subhash Chandra Bose.
You see, whatever one may say and put me in which category, I am not afraid of. But I have detested this man from much earlier, even before when he got his Nobel Prize. I think I had heard him in a seminar in Tilmurti or something, sometime in 80s or early 90s. I've never liked him. And particularly when they criticize India, without taking into account the ground realities. And what is his work in economics, you tell me? As
Very
you said,
abstract.
on Bengal,
And
and
Professor
Bengal
Kumar,
family picked up there. Some say,
if you listen to his lecture, in his lecture, there is little economics, little science of economics, but only literature. And you
It's,
cannot really
Literature and some
understand what
politics.
he is telling. And
Literature and
twisted
some
words.
politics.
And twisted words.
Yeah.
No science of economics.
Where a good
No
command,
logic.
a good command over English, a good
Only
command over
command on
English, yes,
Nothing
makes
else.
them play with the words.
Yes,
And
play with the
people
words.
will clap, people will clap,
Yes,
people will
play
clap.
with the words.
That's it.
And only one sentence I will tell you. The last finance minister of Bengal, that one of the
Mitra.
relatives of this, that is Mitro. What is the full name? That Mitro, the son of Bela Mitro, son of Bela Mitro.
Oh yes.
That
Amit, no.
Amit Mitro.
What's his
Yes,
name?
Amit.
Mitra. Amit Mitra.
I had a opportunity to listen to one lecture of him after the death of his uncle. That is his uncle. Yes, in Calcutta University. What he told.
You see, I'll tell you one thing. You
in one
compare
sentence,
it with.
I'm completing in one sentence. One sentence. He told, I was student of economics in Harvard. I have the opportunity to be student of three persons, three Indian economists: Amartya Sen, Manmohan Singh, and Subramanian Swamy. And he's telling, my understanding is Amartya Sen is always composed and to the limited. He always tells day before what will be subject next discussion. He's always prepared and giving a dotted lecture, which we could not understand. And about Manmohan Singh, always he is giving notes, cyclostyle notes in the always pre-declared subject. But Subramanian Swamy is always unprepared, coming directly into a class, and we are asked to ask any question, any random question to him. He always prepared to give answer to any question. That is the difference between Amartya Sen, Manmohan Singh, and Subramanian Swamy. Yes, that's the difference.
Regarding Subhash Chandra
This
Bose,
is
regarding Subhash Chandra Bose mystery, or the Nobel laureate professor famously said there is no mystery.
No mystery. Yes.
He will do the line. You see, these are British junkies, British lackeys. I think they are in name only now Bengali. Like Nehru said that, I am the last British to rule over India. These are those, what I call them, brown sahabs in academics, the brown sahabs.
And
with all the colonial hangover, in academics, and they have their own gangs.
Then another person there in that Bengal is Pakistan, Yunus. He got prize in peace. What is his character? A Bengali?
Dada, I tweeted and I tagged that Nobel Peace Center. If you have any shame left and you want to save the prestige of your Nobel Prize,
withdraw that.
Take the Nobel Prize back from this butcher, Yunus. He's a butcher.
He is not the first one to get a Nobel Prize, the butcher, if you say that. Henry Kissinger facilitated the massacre in East Pakistan. So you know what, Nobel Prize being what it is, how much value it really carries nowadays.
Dr. Shankar, about this Henry Kissinger, I'm very confused. This man, this very Henry Kissinger, is regarded.
You see, most of these awards. What is that other one? That Megaseke award? What is that Megaseke award or something?
That is Indonesia
award.
That is given to whom? Kejriwal. Given to whom? That NDTV journalist, Ravish Kumar. that I have seen that most of these international awards dominated by the Western powers are given to those Indians who will criticize India and curse India and curse Indian governments.
And Nobel Prize and Magsaysay is a deadly cocktail, sir.
Yeah.
It's
So
a deadly cocktail.
this Yunus, if I have I never had and I never have now this respect for Nobel Prize. Other, I was making a comparison. You compare Naipaul. You read his works.
Naipaul, yes.
And what he has worked on in nature, labor and all those things, I think he is a better economist than Amartya Sen.
Naipaul is on literature, I think. He got
No, he's on literature. He's on literature.
But economics,
but
he knows better.
But the way he has handled the whole economic systems of that period of plantation colonies and all that, he's a much better economist than Amartya Sen in sociology.
Yes.
So this Nobel Prize and all, I get so angry when the Indians dance when someone has got a Nobel Prize from India. They dance and our governments also, put red carpets and all that things. And that says that the colonial mindset we have, even today, that colonial hangover has not gone from India. That today only, I was seeing a tweet, very interesting, rather it's a YouTube program. I found the title saying, Pakistan has defeated one country. Even India is surprised. So I said, I looked at it, I said, what has Pakistan defeated? And it turned out that the programmer is saying that the only country which has been defeated by Pakistan is Britain. It has been taken over very peacefully by Pakistanis now. So I remember in India the slogan was that Ladke liya hai Pakistan, haske lenge Hindustan. That we fought and got Pakistan and now peacefully, laughingly we will take India. But the India though they couldn't take, their attempts fail. But definitely England they have taken over very peacefully and laughingly. And these Nobel Prize people and all, they can't see that what is happening, what is going on. So shameless is this Nobel Prize. Not a single statement from them. They couldn't even advise this Yunus. Which means, as you said, Kissinger also got it. So is the third year people dying and running, so these people will have nothing, that they are sheeps and all, and particularly Hindus. They've never opened their mouth on massacre of Hindus anywhere. Of the crime against Hindus anywhere in the world. Have you heard the voice of these people?
Absolutely.
One thing, Professor, please note, this Yunus is not a practicing Muslim, using Islam and Islamic extremism for its political weapon.
Dada, that way Jinnah was also not a practicing Muslim,
He was not a practicing Muslim. Only
for so he's following Jinnah. He's following Jinnah actually.
Yes, that's why he has converted East Bengal into East Pakistan again.
He's added $2 million corruption charge against that Grameen Bank, which actually is a money laundering.
Dada, take it from me, his days are numbered. His days are numbered. He will be either overthrown by the army there, or the fanatics, the moment they realize that keeping his liberal face is no more needed, they will take care of him.
So all he needs is to board a flight to France, earliest flight to Paris, and that's
Professor,
it.
do you know, in West Bengal, there are many admirers of Mr. Yunus?
Definitely. Why not? Why not?
Many admirers.
Why not? Isn't Mamta going to have a meeting with him?
Many admirers. Both left and Mamata, all are admirers.
No, I'm asking this. When is Mamta going to have a meeting? You see, today is Mamta's statement, which came that it is the BSF which is encouraging infiltration into India. You know, see this nonsensical
Yes.
statement which has come.
Yesterday.
By that
he-
Banerjee, what is that? Ashish Banerjee, or what is his name? And then Mamta saying that. Two of them. That is the BSF which is encouraging infiltration into India to destabilize Bengal. Bengal is destabilized by your policies of appeasement of fanatics in Bengal, by facilitating the Bangladeshi intruders in Bengal. And you are accusing the central government forces of encouraging infiltration in Bengal. That's the same language which Amrita Sen will speak, or which Yunus will speak, or any one of these will speak. Doing into it.
Then let
So
us
I don't
come
know.
to
You can recommend for next Nobel Prize. You can recommend Mamta Banerjee's name.
yes, we'll propose.
It should be
Then
proposed.
let us come to that chapter, how this Yunus is prepared and planted in Bangladesh. How it is grooming in,
How is he?
how it is groomed in
How
the
is he?
West. It is groomed in there and prepared and then planted,
Parachuted is the word, I think.
parachuted. How?
No.
What are the
You see
forces?
the
What are the forces
you see
behind?
the planting thing was. You see, sometimes what happens is that these Americans think they are too wise. Okay, so they tried through the student movement an opportunity to destabilize Hasina. Planted this fellow that he will remain their stooge, but they missed the point that there are fanatics also equally involved in Bangladesh who will have the upper hand. And Americans, and to Americans, this also doesn't matter whether the fanatics take over or not. Because the way they support ISIS in Syria.
Can we have a large picture behind? Actually, this deep state in USA and some anti-Indian force in Europe, they tried to destabilize Modi government in India. They supported this India group, so-called India group. They failed. Then they started destabilizing East Pakistan, so that the fire will be there that will touch India. That is the mechanism.
I fully
That's
agree with
right,
you, sir.
That is
Target
the
was
Absolutely.
India. The target
Absolutely
was India.
right.
They show that Modi has got good understanding with Hasina. That is making this horizon safe for India. Let it be destabilized. And in this destabilization process, the forces are number one, Indie group, particularly Congress, some European anti-India forces, and deep state of USA. They took the face, the so-called popular face, already made popular, already made noble, this Yunus. They took the face, this Yunus, and then this engineered students movement, all these things, to destabilize East Pakistan, East Bengal, so that naturally the fire will catch Indian border. That is the
And
process.
this is
That
the beginning.
plan.
And
Yes.
this is the beginning. And this is the beginning.
I think,
Already
sir,
there are reports. Already there are reports that this Al Qaeda people are there in Bangladesh now.
Yes.
Their leaders have met Yunus. Saliluddin has made 2-3 posts in relation to that from Dhaka, where he mentioned that this Al Qaeda one, he said he crossed into the Indian border also from some area quietly. It remained for a few hours in India also.
Professor
Forgetting
Kumar,
this Al Qaeda man's name.
Professor Kumar, can you
His name is
remember?
there.
Can you remember? Suppose, can you ever seen in India, in any state, when a new CM takes oath, a foreign, a figure like that lady, that lady, who's that lady?
That
USA,
American one.
American lady who
Yeah.
contested for the president, who was
Harris.
the foreign secretary,
Harris.
wife of the ex-president, that wife of ex-president of USA,
Hillary Clinton, you are
Lady
speaking of.
Clinton.
Lady Clinton.
Lady Clinton came to the writers building he was present during oath taking of Mamata Banerjee in 2011.
Very
Can you
good.
imagine? Oath taking of Mamata Banerjee 2011 first chief minister after defeating CM. It was Lady Clinton was there. Can you imagine?
Do you know,
Can you imagine this
Dada,
in state?
Dada, do you know one thing? That this Clinton's trust in UK and US works in a number of cities in India.
And there a sacred member is Maino, that Italian lady, our Bouma, Sonia Maino. And also one major donor to that fund is Muhammad Yunus. His black money collected from this Grameen Bank's high interests. His
No,
Grameen
these
Bank
people,
high interest from the people, poor people in Bengal, East Pakistan.
He is not
Dada,
supposed to
I'll ask you a very fundamental question. What has happened in Bangladesh and what is happening there? After observing them and what has been happening in West Bengal, will the Hindus take it this way and get slaughtered one by one? Or will they fight out?
Okay, I will
Because
try to.
this
Before
thing,
that,
one thing, let me make it more clear.
Okay.
This thing of being afraid,
Yes.
from 8 crore, they became 1 crore in Bangladesh.
Yes.
And if this syndrome continues in West Bengal also, because they are afraid of police or afraid of Mamta and this and that, then West Bengal will left with not even 1 crore Hindus, let me tell you today.
I'm trying to give you answers. Before that, one fact I'm giving you. Dr. Chatterjee, do you know this Grameen Bank in Bangladesh? Who has got the right to take loan from this bank? Not the male persons in Bangladesh, only female persons. Do you know? Male persons cannot take loan from. They have no right to take loan. That's their grammar. Male persons are not entitled to apply for loan from Grameen banks, only females. Number one. Number two, and the rate of interest is very high. Very high. Why? Because in Quran, in Islam, in courts, in Islamic courts, the value of witness of female is 1/4 of the value of a male witness. That means practically.
But Quran also says that there's no interest is to be taken.
Yes, that's another side. That's why this Yunus is so intelligent, so cunning. He gives loan to only ladies, not male persons, because if the ladies go to court, in court, ladies' witness has no value as per Quran, as per Sharia. So much cunning this person is. Then number two, and
they are, you know, I don't know whether he may be connected with that swindler in Canada who opened an Islamic bank.
Right.
And told people that it is no interest bank. So as per Quran, it is an Islamic bank, so you can deposit your money here for safety. So the people, like a halal bank, you know. So they deposit their money in that bank, and after 2-3 years, this fellow disappeared with all the money.
Good. Then second answer to you. Yes.
Good for them.
The behavior of Bengali Hindus about partition and then the fate of Hindus on both sides, this side and that side, is very pathetic, very poor, very tragic. Number one, the Hindus in West Bengal has been saved by one person, that is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. But the tragedy is the Hindus of Bengal hates that man maximum. Shyama Prasad is hated by Hindu intellectuals in Bengal. That's the tragedy.
No, I'm talking of the common man of the street. I am not
Common
worried
man-
about these intellectuals.
Common man has
These
forgotten the
intellectuals
name of
will never raise their.
common man in West Bengal has forgotten the name of Shyam Mukherjee. That is the good that is the good teaching. They hear CPM, Congress, and PMCP is very successful to make this name forget.
Apparently,
Forgotten.
there was some opposition to the renaming of the Calcutta port as Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port.
Yes,
There was some
but
opposition.
then again, I will, even in this tragic picture, I think for the first time in Bangladesh, I tell you, in East Pakistan, for the first time in this tragedy, East Hindus in East Bengal are not trying to migrate into West Bengal. They are clinching to the soil. The first phenomenon.
Right.
Last 80
And
years.
they're fighting there.
It's a good sign.
They're fighting that. They're fighting that.
Number two, and in West Bengal, whatever crying from this is for the first time. We are shouting. Some groups are shouting on the streets. At
Dada,
least. This is the first sign.
Dada, why I raised this question was that are the people in Bengal, the Hindus, taking any inspiration from the Hindus in Bangladesh who are standing and fighting there and knowing their fate, what has
Yes.
happened to them, to
Definitely.
fight out here in
Definitely.
Bangladesh, in Bengal also?
In
all I
adverse
can tell you
situation,
is-
how they are fighting, we are being inspired.
All I can tell you is there's a groundswell of public awareness, but beyond that, I can't elaborate in this public forum.
Well, I don't rule out certain things. Bengal has a history of revolutionaries. I don't rule out that history. We are underground also, many things went on.
And,
I don't rule that out.
and let me share with you, Professor, 3 other facts. You can support me, or you can add to that, or you can counter me. Just before it, in Bangladesh army, there is a strong component of Chinese in Bangladesh army. Chinese component is very strong. Chinese influence are very strong. By the parachuting of Yunus, that Chinese component is out. That's one side. Then they spread their hand to the Saint Martin Americans. That has created anger in the minds of the Chinese. That's why Chinese are now cooperating with India to give a good
They're
lesson
co-
to Americans.
They are cooperating with the Arakan army, sir.
Arakan army also, Arakan army. And one thing, the Arakan army being Buddhist in nature by religion, they are bound to be more towards China than towards India. They're more towards India than towards China. That is natural.
Dada, there's another aspect to that. You see, Chinese are very shrewd politicians,
Yes.
and they think of 40 years hence
Yes.
Exactly.
what the
You got it.
situation is going to be. And in that situation, I have a feeling that the Chinese have realized that if Bangladesh becomes a fanatic Islamic state, making it so near to China will further increase its hold in Southeast Asia the way Al Qaeda and all want. So China will never like to have in its neighborhood any Islamic fanatic state.
Yes. Yes.
They're very cautious of that aspect. And they have proven that of what they have done to the Olgars in their northwestern provinces,
Yes.
what they have done to Islam. They have proven that. And they are perceptive enough to realize that what Islam did to Europe, it doesn't do to them.
And also they are learning from their border that is, what is it? BR project, Dr. Chatterjee?
That's the
Border-
border
Yes.
road. That is the
The
Belt and Road
Balochistan and
initiative.
that corridor
they
that's going on.
That
is
that
the
huge
Belt and Road.
huge investment
BRI.
in that area that is failing.
That's
Belt and Road
Pak
initiative.
army is failing to protect the lives of the Chinese engineers and workers, and the huge project, huge investment of China has failed.
If
That's
CPEC is
and
dead,
I have a feeling, you remember our NSA went to China a few days back.
initiative.
Yes,
Before
even
this-
China. Yes.
Before this
yes.
Arakan, before this Arakan army started its operation,
Yes.
he
before
paid a
that he
visit.
was in China. He
Yes.
was in China. So I'm pretty sure that something would have been talked about, the common interest against Islamic fanaticism.
Yes. Now, see our government behind the curtain, diplomacy with the Afghanistan Taliban army, with Tajikistan, our air bases are there, with China, with Arakan Liberation Army. Now, this dialogue, I think, will give much help to our diplomatic helps to our Indian people. And definitely, Pakistan is going to be fragmented. Definitely.
So already the way this Tehreek-e-Taliban is hitting them every day.
They are only 100 kilometers from Peshawar.
And the Pakistanis have been crying world over and that India has attacked them internally, because few days back also that Musa terrorist was killed.
Yes.
So they've been shouting that Indian Raw is very active there and killing, our Pakistan. And they are admitting that they are being killed by the Afghanis and Pakistans only on payment of money.
Yes,
they are seeing a ghost of,
unknown gunmen.
Yes, they are seeing ghost of Raw everywhere.
They're seeing that.
And I think also the crisis they thought will burn India, crisis in Bangladesh will burn India, but that is going to burn both Pakistan's east and west. Also Bangladesh will burn.
So let me tell you, Pakistan has lost 50% of its territory. Balochistan, the entire hinterland is in the hands of the BLA.
Yes.
Only places like Quetta where there's a significant presence of the Pakistani army, there is some semblance of Pakistani governance.
Yes.
On the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa in NWFP side, the Taliban has already captured Bajaur and Chitral and all those places. They are hammering the Pakistani army like anything with American arms.
And with POK already is not much under their control now.
Yes.
And similar symptoms are there in Sindh.
Sindh has already for 80 years, 70 years, there is a, in exile, there is a provisional government of Sindh in exile.
GS Sindh.
Provisional government of Sindh in exile. Like provisional government of Balochistan in exile for last 70 years.
Acha, interestingly, I'll take you back, Dada.
Yes.
One never finds this Amartya Sen making comments on any such international geopolitical situations.
So that's very
again, you are coming back to that scoundrel. Let him die.
Let
him die. Let him die.
It just came to my mind. It just came to my mind.
That's
that
very
these people play very safe, They will not comment on geopolitics, or diplomatic aspects and all that. They play very safe.
You people are not liking to die, allow this person to die very peacefully. Let them die peacefully.
No, they will enjoy over a drink. This is what they do.
They are scoundrels.
And you look at this Yunus, how shamelessly he presents that smiling face.
Yes.
Always smiling. Always smiling. If anything happens, always smiling. Have you heard? You must have heard that story. As a child, I remember that story. That Raja Nanga hai.
Raja Nanga hai. Yes.
The king is naked.
King is naked. Yes.
You know that story.
That story that story in every language, in every corner of the world.
Yeah.
In different
where the king asked the weavers to wear such a cloth, which everyone would appreciate it all. And this weaver took all the gold and silver and made a cloth, and he made a point. He said, fools won't be able to see this cloth. Now, who will be a fool? So when king looked at that, oh, very fine cloth. His minister said, very fine cloth. Then the king said, I'm wearing that. He's moving naked on the street, and everyone is saying, what a wonderful cloth he's wearing, because no one wants to be proved as a fool. And it was a child who shouted, Raja Nanga hai, the king is naked.
Professor, for last 3 minutes, I will request you to take comment on the so-called world-famous economist, our Prime Minister Manmohan Singh.
Oh,
The so many glorifying articles in papers and media.
I'll
What is your
I'll
opinion?
I'll give you one example of his wisdom.
Yes.
You will recall that a Sadhu Baba in UP said that he has seen in a dream that a treasure is there in that particular place in an old fort.
Yes, that's
And
yes.
And Manmohan Singh sent the Archaeological Survey and Zoological
Excavate.
Survey of India with all
Excavate.
gadgets and all to excavate that place and
And
get the
spend a
things.
lot of money. Spend a lot of money.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Found nothing. Yes.
So how scientific they were.
Yes.
A prime minister of a country
Of this
brings
level.
out an ordinance, and that ordinance has been torn by the vice president of that party.
In the parliament and throwing papers into his face.
So that prime minister has no spine. When people talk of spine of Manmohan Singh, his spine was kept at 10 Janpat. His remote was there at 10 Janpat. And I think he must have been the only prime minister. The files from his office used to go to 10 Janpat.
Yes.
You know. And I tell you one more thing. He was not even committed to his community.
Yes. Has spoken nothing
After
against that
what
genocide.
Congress had done to the Sikhs
community. Yes.
done to the Sikhs.
He's never vocal.
You know, in that year,
84. Never vocal.
84. If after that any Sikh supports this family and works as a slave of this family, I will not call him a Sikh.
And he's
because Sikhs have a lot of pride in themselves. About their community and everything. But this fellow, none.
This man at the helm of the affairs of monetary system and planning system from 1968. Sometimes as governor of Reserve Bank of India. But always loyal to Nehruvian economy.
Dada, don't forget.
Now being told as the maker of this liberalization of the Indian economy.
I am forgetting that author. He's an American author only. And this Mitrokin leakouts. Which said that in India, finance ministers were determined by the IMF.
Yes.
And that is how Manmohan Singh was a plant. From IMF and all these places to be brought here in a way that bringing him to RBI or bringing him to UGC, and then from UGC. I remember one thing very interesting, you see, that Arjun Singh never liked Manmohan Singh. And you can see the reason being, Arjun Singh had appointed him as the UGC chairman. And then he became the finance minister and prime minister, and Arjun Singh worked under him under his ministry. So Arjun Singh never liked him, hated him like anything.
Actually, in 1991, when P.V. Narasimha Rao became prime minister, he is instrumental to follow the formula dictated by IMF that you have to liberalize this. And
I'll just make two small points, sir. Number one, you've seen the interview with General Wij, in which he says that Manmohan Singh suggested him that you cede Siachen, you withdraw from Siachen.
Yes.
When General Wij refused to do that, he said, General, you are being a hawk. And number two, sir, if you have seen that picture of him, wo peeth mein thapki maar raha hai, that Yasin Malik.
That is there. With all separatists and all. In fact, Yashin Malik met him, I think, in his office or his residence to him.
Can you believe it, sir? I mean,
His
he's
policy was totally soft on terrorism in Kashmir. Rather, they kept on appeasing the separatists by holding talks with them and sending delegations and all these things and all. And when it comes to India's defense, no
Actually-
reaction from them on that Mumbai attacks.
Actually,
Mumbai terror attack 2008.
Freedom from
Air
Nehruvian
Marshal-
economy is
Sir,
by Narasingha Rao, not by Manmohan Singh.
Air Marshal Pali, उनका क्या नाम है, like, so is Pali,
Bali.
नहीं Pali Homi
And in India, so
Parsi
many
Air Marshal था ना वो. He wanted to take action on Pakistan. That Prime Minister, please allow us. Our planes are ready.
Bombay blast. He didn't. And one more thing I'll say. Dada, don't forget that under Manmohan Singh's prime ministership only, so many scams took place.
series of
Corruption.
scams, and he remained
Series
silent.
of scams.
Series
And
of scams.
secondly, one more thing. This word Hindutva terrorism was coined under his ministry only.
Yes.
That was
In the
by
Home Ministry.
Digvijay
You
Singh.
know, where the Sadhvi and Colonel
Term was
Purohit and
coined
all
by
were falsely
yes.
implicated.
P. Chidambaram.
Okay.
That P.
And then
Chidambaram.
this P. Chidambaram, his finance minister, you remember he cultivated cauliflower in pots on his roof and saved so much of income tax through that income, showing that I earned so much through this farming, since farm income is not taxable. So he grew cauliflower in pots.
Good.
This was
Rooftop
also rooftop farm. This was also under him. Doing
He was
that.
the chairman of a ministry having so much series of corruptions. And
Not
now
a
media,
single scam he could stop.
you are just a silent observer. Maybe he was not the direct beneficiary, but he was silent observer, and in that way indirectly supported all these scams to proceed.
Dada, the thing is very simple. If Trudeau is supporting Khalistani terrorists and all,
He's a terrorist.
so I call him Trudeau the terrorist.
Yes. In that way, Manmohan Singh was also a corrupted person.
So if scams are taking place and all, you may not be touching money. But if your other cabinet ministers are involved and other of your party are involved in making money under your name, under your prime ministership, then who's responsible?
Taking no action.
Taking no action.
You are party to that.
No action. Dada, action he couldn't take. Because unless 10 Janpat says what will he do?
Yes.
He can't do anything. So he's a Kathputli.
And he was really the accidental. Once I listened to a speech by Subramanian Swamy, actually Manmohan's that Sonia Maino was ready, prepared to take oath as prime minister. In that time,
I know the whole story, Dada. I know the whole story.
Today or day after tomorrow. Actually, that event prevented Sonia to become prime minister. 11th hour, Sonia has to pick up a puppet.
No, Swami wrote to the president that it is against the constitution that no non-Indian can become the
and also
prime minister.
army generals told to president that how can we disclose our secret army schemes to this lady? Then President Kalam told Sonia to postpone the oath-taking ceremony for 12 hours. And she got the smell. Then he has to bring Manmohan Singh as prime minister, a puppet.
Dada, I'll tell you a very interesting incident. When this CWC meeting was taking place in Delhi, I was in Srinagar that day, and was with me a journalist from Hindustan Times, Namudri. Next room,
Namudri. Namudri
Nambudri,
means okay.
Nambudri.
Namudri, I'll tell you the
And
whole name. He was with me into Moscow.
yeah. He must have been the same person. So
Yes,
because he
Namudri.
reported a lot on West Bengal also.
Yes,
So
Namudri.
this fellow, after every 10 minutes, he will come to my room. He'll say, "Look, she's going to be the prime minister," and I will smilingly tell him, "Rest
Namudri is the
assured, she won't." I told him, "Rest assured, she won't." He said, "Who will be the prime minister?" I said, "Manmohan Singh will be the prime minister." He said, "How are you so sure?" I said, "That is my analysis." And when that was
Oh,
declared that Manmohan Singh, he came jumping to my room. "How do you know? Do you have connections in Congress?" I said, "No, I have no connections in Congress." But it was my analysis that if not Sonia, then who can be the best person who will remain loyal to the family and act as per the family? And that way they could have depended on no one else at the moment besides other than Manmohan Singh. And Manmohan Singh would have gone good with the West also, in terms of IMF and all these things and all. So they went for him.
Namudri was at that time, he is the editor of Pioneer. He
Oh,
came
yes, he had
to
gone to
meet me.
Pioneer. Yeah,
He came to
he was in
India.
Pioneer.
He came to Calcutta a few times to meet me.
I
And
know Pioneer.
Namudri
Now,
was
I
with
don't know
me.
where he is. Where he has disappeared.
Yes,
For a couple of years, I haven't seen him.
and he was
Mm,
with me up to Moscow
yeah,
Moscow when we went to
yeah,
the Netaji Inquiry Commission.
yeah,
And
Pioneer.
he was a student. He was a student of Calcutta. He's a
Yeah,
Keralian, but
yeah.
student of Calcutta. Possibly she married some Bengali lady.
And totally anti-Naxal.
Totally anti-Naxal.
Totally anti-Naxal, I remember.
And not only anti-Naxal, he anti-left also, anti-CPM. He's got a
Anti-CPM.
he's got a big volume on Bengal.
I
Bengal
don't know
dark
where
history.
I've seen. I don't know where
I,
he has disappeared.
I have
I
lost
haven't
my,
seen
my,
him for
my connection with him. Yes.
a couple of years. I haven't seen, even heard of him.
Dr. Shankar.
So, Dada,
Uh,
my question again, I come back to my basic fundamental question is
yes.
that the same Bengal which produced Vivekananda, the same Bengal from where the Ramakrishna mission, you know, supported revolutionaries, supported the freedom struggle, made so many nationalists. Why can't they produce some nationalists in Bengal now to take care of these fanatics and take care of these anti-nationals?
Professor, let me give an answer in one sentence. It is Bengal. Bengal produced Mirzapur. Bengal produced Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji, Netaji, Rabindranath. Other side, Bengal produced also revolutionaries. It is
That's
it is
what I'm
it is
saying.
it is British who conquered Bengal first, then conquered rest of the India. Bengal get the platform to British to conquer India. They first came to western coast. They only occupied small parts, but they could not enter into the mainland. They entered the south coast. They conquered only small parts, but they could not enter into the mainland. But it is Bengal. We the Bengalis, we the people of Bengal, we gave him the big support, big entry to conquer India. We are that scoundrels. We are that traitors. Same
No,
time,
no, Dada,
we have
Dada,
produced Sri
Dada,
Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Subhash
no,
Chandra.
no, no,
But
no, no, Dada
again,
traitors.
one thing, now one thing, also rising against British, important place is Bengal. Netaji from Bengal, though Uriya, number says,
Dada,
but
don't
giving,
forget, don't forget the Sannyasi rebellion of 1770.
yes, Bengal
Neil
Yes.
against
Withdraw,
India. Yes,
Neil
Neil
Withdraw,
Withdraw. Yes,
Neil Withdraw, Pavna
but
Peasants Movement.
at the same time, you see the foreign anti-India forces, foreign anti-Bengali forces, maybe Western forces, maybe West Asia forces. They're very active in India in different forms. Because if Bengali rises, India will improve to a level.
Well, that's what they are doing to Punjab also. That's what they are doing to Punjab also.
Yes, also. They are poisoned. These foreign forces are poisoning continuously in different ways. One is Islamization, other is this Christianity in different forms, in the forms of sadhus, as if they want something good for us.
And for all ills, they will create these ills and they will hold that Modi is responsible for everything. Modi is responsible.
And you think how they created a sadhu. An Indian was in practice in South Africa. He was for the British Army there against the liberators of Africa.
Oh, Dada, we will discuss him.
Yes, one day. How he was projected as a liberation fighter and planted in India. We'll discuss one day.
We'll have a specific program on him only one day. Guardian.
There are so many so-called intellectuals and sadhus planted in that way.
I think so. That's what I meant when I wrote in my this thing for that note that some people have greatness thrust upon them. So
then, Dr. Shankar, should we meet after 1 to 2 days?
Maybe let's. Why don't we make it twice a week like that? I mean.
Okay, then after 3 days. What's the subject? Professor Kumar, what subject?
Let's wait for some developments 1 or 2 days. What happens, we'll decide the subject Sunday morning only.
3 days, 2 to 3 days. The evolving situation in South Asia.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean,
on both sides.
The situation is quite fluid, so let's wait for a couple of days and see what happens.
Okay, today is Sunday. Today is Saturday. Let's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Let it be Wednesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, let it be Wednesday. Any day. I'm free at this hour. You can tell me that. You can tell me.
Wednesday will be fine, sir.
Which day?
Wednesday is fine.
Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. That
fine.
is Budhvar.
Jai Hind, sir.
Fine.
Jai Hind.
Joy Hind.
Jai Hind.